Live, baby. Live graph champs, baby. Graph champs. Yeah. I'm your host, SR, the vertical, murdical, squirtical, all over your Gitter's Bizak. You heard? Graph champs, season 3, episode 6. We deep in these streets, baby. You heard? Put on my theme music, boy. Yo, salute CS, I see you. Kings in the building, you heard? Legends in the building already. This shit. What is this? Yeah, son. We got Big CUVRE TGE in the building today, you heard? I'm on right now, CUVRE, you heard? Salute, baby. Let me put on my theme music real quick. Y'all know what it is. Graph champs. Salute to Dios Diablo, my brother, you heard? Full blast, baby. Shit alive, baby, shit alive. We got Just W.F in the building, you heard? We got CUVREzoid, Big CUVRE, you heard? Shit alive.
Shout out to Graph champs. Welcome to the Graph champs. We appreciate the love and support for all the Graph kings, the most amazing and iconic artists.
Shit alive.
They train yards to the rooftops, to the storefronts, highways, catching rain. That's all the general. He be going crazy, bro. From his Instagram account, Supreme Clientele Radio. Interviewing all the icons, the ones that led the way. Salute to all the fallen legends, the ones that set the stage. Moment of silence, let us remember those.
Yeah.
Whether they family or they were friend or foe. Hate them or love them, let's show them some respect.
Major contribution to hip-hop, Graph champs to the depth.
Ready and willing, never scared to fry. Chance in the heart to get in
alive, baby.
Super talented vandals, never scared to die. Let's show them love while they breathing.
Your head is shit alive.
So tell a friend and go and tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Use it dope, friend and start up to the
I
end.
get this shit alive, baby.
Let's show them love and call it glory time. Repost his post on your post, share his post up on your story.
Graph champs.
So tell a friend and go and tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Use it dope, friend and start up to the end. Let's show them love and call it glory time. Repost his post on your post. His post up on your storyline.
Yeah.
That's all the card general, Graph champs. Full blast music, the beat guard.
Yeah, I'm not in my regular lab, the Graph champs lab, you heard? I'm over here on a little mini, you know what I'm saying, getaway and shit. So we gotta make do, but this week, my nigga, this is a special show, bro. We got niggas that not only have quality, quantity mixed, you know what I'm saying, straight styles, street killers, niggas who impacted the game, niggas who made waves, wave guards, you know what I'm saying? Niggas that everybody bites off of, that's how dope they are and shit. You know what I'm saying? We got big motherfucking CUVRE in the building, TGE, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start with CUVRE. Salute A1s, I see you, my brother. Salute, you know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Shit alive and shit. I'm about to pull my brother in right now, Big CUVRE, you heard? Where you at, CUVRE? Yeah, I'm Graph champs, baby, season 3, here we go. Salute Hawkeye, I see you. Salute Sammy, I see you. Yo, what it is, Big CUVREzoid?
What up, man?
Yo, you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on. Could you turn that off right there? I know, but I just want to see if I can hear him better without that shit on. Speak again, CUVRE?
Yo, what up? What up?
Damn, son. Could the fans hear? Could y'all hear him? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Yo, show you on the room.
That's all right. Can you hear me?
They're saying that it's all good, CUVRE. So before anything, CUVRE, I want to talk to you personally as a fan. You know, like we were talking yesterday and shit. I met you one time, maybe like 10 years ago and shit. And I didn't get a chance to tell you how dope you are, how dope of a writer and important of a writer you are to graffiti. You know what I'm saying? It's niggas like you that make niggas push their style, you know what I'm saying? Push their creativity. You know what I'm saying? And without niggas like you, shit would look like shit, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? We salute the work you put in. From top to bottom, my nigga, salute you, bro. You heard? Welcome to Graph Champs.
Yo, thanks so much. I really appreciate that, man.
Nah, that's a fact, bro. It has to be said, bro. It has to be known. So just in truth, Graph Champs fashion, we're gonna start from the very beginning. So the fans want to know, what got you into graffiti, Curve? What made you fall in love with it?
Oh man, it was like, you know, it was the coolest shit to do, you know. It was I was doing art as a kid, and it was like I was also going on like little adventures with my friends, like sneaking around and committing, trespassing and playing on the track. We were a lot of places where there was already a lot of graffiti to be seen, you know. And since I was doing art, it just was like a natural thing I just gravitated towards.
So you was a born artist? You're an artist off the top?
Yeah, I was very I was always doing art, yeah, for sure. Far back as I can remember.
All right, cool. So what years was this that you started like falling in love with the sport?
I picked up a can like because I remember, because I wrote the year real big. It was 95. I wrote the
95.
I wrote the numbers 95 because I saw VFR. He always did the big date, the 93, real big.
Sir.
I saw that somewhere, and I did the 95 real big like that. So I remember that was the year I started.
So around 95-ish. Are you a native New Yorker? Could you let the fans know like where you originate from, if that's cool with you?
Yeah, for sure. I grew up in a city in Connecticut called New Haven. And
okay. Was there like a graffiti scene out there?
yeah, there was a big graffiti scene there, I would say, you know. For a small city, like, there's a lot of old school shit, like, still dating back from the 80s, that was still up, that it was never cleaned. And then because where it was, between New York and Boston, you had writers, from all over the East Coast would come through there. It's right off 95, you know. So you just had a lot of writers coming through there at the time in the 90s. Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, who were some of the people that you saw, like repeatedly, like that had like movements and was making noise.
In New Haven,
yeah,
it was so it was a crew, TSB, and that was Brat, who was also wrote Dooley, and there's also his combo was Perm, and also Eros and Sket. And then at the time when I really started painting was Crest and Cirque were killing shit. Yeah.
So these are your first influences? Those were your first influences?
Definitely, yeah. Demo, Cries. There were so many. Prim. It's hard, it was a lot. And then the guy E-Rock would come through New Haven too. And I would see him in New York as well. Like I would see it be on the West Side Highway, see it there. And also this dude from Boston, Target. So yeah, I had a lot of influences, man. Like I could go on forever naming people.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's the same thing with me, bro. Like, being a part of my environment, coming up around my way, it's just so many people that I took a little piece from and transformed into myself. That's basically how everybody starts off, I would say. But you're a little different because from the beginning, like as New Yorkers, seeing your work and shit, it always been like top notch, fucking beautiful shit, like real nice throw ups, real creative straight letters, and so on and so forth. Right from the beginning, when you started writing, it was just straight off like that. It was just all neatness, all like, was your flow crazy from the beginning?
I mean, nah, I always tried. I knew what looked good. I saw the best graffiti in the 90s, you know? Like when I saw like the best shit like you did. And I was able to, I have family in Manhattan on the Upper West Side as well. And I spent a lot of time there also when I was first getting into graffiti. And went down to the, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
I just remember going down to that, along the Riverside Park, right there, right at 72nd. And I went down around and it was like that wall right there that was facing the highway. And I saw all that shit, great work. And also had family in Philadelphia. So I got to see like, and just all over, Connecticut, Boston. Got to go to, early on as a kid, I got to go to San Francisco,
Nice.
Springfield, Massachusetts. Like all these cities had great graffiti. And then no matter where you went, the highways were crushed. So that was the type of stuff I wanted to emulate, you know? So
Traveling, going back and forth, you would see the highway. So that was like a good, like one of your goals, so smash and shit.
yeah, I mean, I didn't, I just wanted to do what I saw. Either, I was painting anywhere I could, like behind a path mark or something, you know? I just wanted
So when you started writing it,
go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
When you started writing and taking it serious, was it like like I want to go to New York, or I want to go to another state where the fucking graph scene is big, or was it that ever your intention?
Not at first, because I was just a kid. Like I was just trying to not get caught and just trying to do something good. But I was very fortunate because when I reached high school age, me and my mom moved to Philadelphia. So right as I was already writing a little bit, but right as I was getting good, we moved to a big city like Philly. So that was, so yeah, that was like my head exploded, you know.
Did you feel like it was like a lot more stuff to write on?
It was, yeah, and I was just like charged up, like, I was just like, I was ready for everything. And you meet a lot more writers in a city, but yeah, I don't want to, I don't ever want to slide past my Connecticut roots, because I was really lucky. I met the best writers when I was living in New Haven as a kid, because I was rolling with Brat and Dooley and Cirque, Swerm. So I was lucky for that. And then I was also lucky to move to Philadelphia,
Do you think moving to Philly like impacted your style in any way?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I got more into bombing and less into piecing. Like like the graffiti there is like a lot more readable stuff. It's very like
So I want to talk about the piecing too. Like from the beginning when you started writing, was it just more like just tags and throwies and fill-ins, or was pieces in there too, or was it just really trying to piece? What was it, or a mixture of everything?
Yeah, I was trying to do everything. Yeah, I was trying to do everything. Like, but I knew you had to have a nice, simple. Like I knew, it's good to use black and white or silver and black, and just get that down packed. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was trying to piece pretty early too. I was rolling with like 30 colors in my in my backpack to a spot. You know what I mean?
Do you got any old school pics of your shit, like all of your first shit?
I do. Yeah. I also knew, take a photo. Somebody told me that actually, because actually before I was writing, me and my brother we were on a mission to photograph everything. Even as kids, like before we started painting, we were going around trying to take pictures. So that kind of got us into like how to get down to the tracks, how to get into the freight yard, like, and we were just taking pictures.
That's fire.
So
And your brother, you said you both wrote?
Huh?
Your brother wrote too?
My brother did. I have an older brother, and he wrote as well. He wrote Rayon.
Rayon.
And
that's fine.
yeah, and he, like, when I really started painting, he kind of started getting more into music, girls and clothes and like that, and I was just fully into graffiti. He kind of bowed out of it, but he always helped me and he encouraged me, and yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. What about tag? How did you get your tags? What was the first tag you wrote? What was your first tag?
The first tag I wrote, it was SN. I picked a 2-letter name.
Any specific reason?
Yeah, but it has to do with my real name. I don't want to say, but.
Okay. How did you come up with Curve?
Go to New York, I saw all the 2-letter throw-ups. And I dropped the SN because I saw someone in New York writing SN, and I saw someone in Philly writing SN as well. And then I picked a longer name, which I felt like you could do more with it. Maybe it was better for piecing, and you know what I mean?
So how did you come up with your name now, Curve? Because that's a fucking hard thing these days. Like, you see, like, I'm a 2-letter nigga, so
yeah.
I got that shit from Slick Rick. SR, Slick Rick, boom, that's it, SR.
Cool.
This shit, and I came up in Bushwick, like everybody had a 2-letter tag in the mid '80s, in the late '80s, so it was easy.
Yeah.
But me personally, if I could change it, I would, because I would like to have a 4-letter, 5-letter tag so I could rock a whole wall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's you could rock 2 letters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what's the process of coming up with your tag?
Oh, I just came up. I was just like trying to think of like what's a good long name that's like an actual word, like a real word with a definition. And I don't really remember how I came up with it, but I think it was because like the letters, you talk about letters, talk about graffiti, and you talk about style, you're going to mention the word curve, like, sometimes, And, yeah, I wanted, like, one of those old school names, like Shame, Scheme, like something like that, like, because I like,
Yeah.
I liked all the 80s stuff. I liked all the 80s stuff that I was seeing in the magazines and in books and stuff.
So when you was coming up, you was into the fucking graph magazines and all that shit? 'Cause I was a nut for those shits. I used to be looking through them shits, hoping to see my tag.
Yeah, man, I tried to get as many as I could. Yeah,
I used to
my brother,
love that shit.
a little older, he actually him and his friends skipped school and went to the city, and I guess they went to bomb the system. And he came back with like 10 magazines.
Wow.
Crazy, yeah.
You must have been hype. You must have been hype, nigga, because anytime a graph mag used to come out, I was on it. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, for a long time, because that lasted for a while. Like, that was like, because then when I moved to Philly, then you could just go to Tower Records, and then they carried them all there at Tower Records. So.
Oh, word, that's dope. In Philly?
In New Haven, it was harder to find, like, but I was pretty lucky. Like, I found IGT and Skills. They were like very back of this magazine store. It was actually called News Haven. It was like a news store, like, that they used to have. And
So since you came up over there, when you first started writing, did you know anything about New York graffiti? You wasn't hearing nothing because it wasn't really no internet or nothing like that. So, but was you up on like New York writers?
I was just up on what I saw. Like, there was names that I would just see a lot. Like, I would keep seeing them over and over again. Like I said, like I spent a lot of time in the Upper West Side, and the name that I remember, I was very young, that I kept seeing, that I could read that over and over again, one of them was Trake.
Damn, I don't got my cam because I'm not at the headquarters, but that's right, Trake. Shout out to Trake. Hell yeah. In 9-5, Trake was killing shit with MQ.
Yep, yeah, I definitely saw that, and I would keep seeing it, and then he was scratching the bus shelters. He was scratching the windows, like, I noticed that. I also saw Kez 5, Peace, and JA, of course, and so many. I mean, like I told you, we found that wall down there on the rivers, along the riverside. So yeah, definitely saw Titch a lot. Yeah, saw a lot of Titch. Yep. But yeah, some names, like I told you, I would see them in New Haven, and then I would go to New York. I'd see them there. So it was like it all started connecting.
Ooh. Who was the first one that you seen from New Haven in New York that you was like, oh shit, I gotta come to New York?
E-Rock.
E-Rock?
Yeah.
Salute to E-Rock.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah. Yep.
Word. So do you remember the first time you came to New York and hit it?
Yeah, well, I was a little older, but yeah, I was I remember, like, my friend had moved there, and I went to go visit him, and I packed some cans, and I waited till late and just walked around where he lived, which was downtown Lower East Side. So yeah, that was the first time I hit New York. I think.
That should feel good. It felt like you came off.
Yo, definitely, it felt great, man. The real time I hit it was one of my friends, Ronan from Philly, was living in New York, moved to New York in '98. He got up with Mass and Empty and Bomb 5, and
Right.
and I was visiting my other friend that lived downtown, and they said, "Yo, come to the Bronx. We're gonna paint the Amtrak." we're gonna paint a wall on the Amtrak in the daytime. So I made my way up there. I don't really remember. I took a bunch of subways, met up with them, and walked it. And I remember walking along that Amtrak. It was stuff that I had seen before, like in videos, magazines. Like there was actually like a blade piece, a comet. Like there was crazy. So yeah, that was in '98. Yeah.
Wow, that's fire, bro. So, so growing up, you got Philly, you got Boston or Massachusetts,
Yeah.
and then you got New York. So do you? Because eventually I'm gonna ask you in this interview, who's your top 10 favorite writers? Is it a mixture? Is it a mixture?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think like with those type of top 5 stuff, I divide into categories. Like like there's like top 5 like all around, like everything, and then top 5 just bombers, or top 5 hand styles, or top 5 pieces.
Oh, give me your top. I'm interested in that. Give me your top 5 hand styles, because you're a supreme pen. So I want to know who's your top 5 hand styles.
Damn, man. I definitely, I have to say off the bat, Revs.
Ooh. Aight.
And there's so many. Philly, the list is there's I have to do a top 100, but I can't, you can't mention Cadism, even though that he'll be in everyone's list. He's like a popular one, but he's perfect hand every time. Perfect stamp.
Yeah, what he write?
Cad, K-A-D.
Cad?
Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta send me pictures. Yo, Hawkeye, if you know who he's talking about, send me some pictures.
Yeah.
I like to see all that shit, because I know a couple of Philly writers, but only because they was in New York or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And shit, who's known in Philly as like the JA or MQ of Philly? Like who's known, or like who's known as the man?
Damn. My shout out to BE. He's a 2-letter bomber. Stands for best ever. BE out in Philly. And he's a man, and he's mad nice.
Yeah, BE, salute to BE, you heard?
Yeah, Philly BE, KOK. And yeah, I mean, who's the JA of Philly? Damn. Maybe MB. No, but that's old school. Like, see, I don't live there, so I can't really say. Like, I'm not there, so I can't really speak on like who's really up like that.
So what about over here? All right, 9-5, boom, 9-5, 9-6, 9-7, you out here, you bombing. Who's influencing you? Like you see niggas killing shit. You like, oh shit, these niggas is killing shit everywhere. I gotta get my shit up.
Yo, it was Creston Cirque, man. Because they were doing shit right when I started actually painting. Because growing up as a kid, I saw a lot of writers that they kind of slowed down by 9-5, but they still influenced me. Like that made me want to paint. Like Brat, like Brat and Swerm. Swerm didn't slow down. No, Swerm was still killing, and so was Brat. They were all doing it, but they were all still painting. But Creston Cirque were like, they were going hard, and Demo as well. And he had a combo that wrote Hue, 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 and they were really dope because, like, I like the bombers with the short names like that, because it just like it fit so nicely, like it, you know, like it was like it just fit real nicely when it, and it could go big, and it just had a strong back with the short names. So Demo, he was just writing DE. I just thought that was dope, like how he just shortened it for no reason, like just DE. And then he would be with Hugh, and and sometimes he would just do an H. He would just do an H like that, and that, you know, that's the shit I grew up loving. And that was big in '95, you know, in that time, you know.
So when you started bombing New York and shit, who's like, did you link up with anybody? Who was the first niggas you linked up with?
Yeah, well, like I said, my friend Ronan was living here, so I got to get up with him. But then I started meeting a lot of people in New York, like Acne, rest in peace, and Sexter. My boy AST kind of brought me in to. Through him, I met Rails, Lions, and all them, and Kuma. You know, Kuma was someone that I got to paint a lot with in New York. You know, and then Pear came to New York. I got to paint with him a bunch, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot, man.
That's dope. How was it painting with Kuma? Because Kuma has he's just like you, like have similar styles. Everything is something different and dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was like it was definitely it was dope because he's really good, and like I like all his ideas. Like he would have like out there ideas like, let's hit this spot, but let's do this. Something I wouldn't never think of, you know? So that was like inspirational for me. And then also he was like very professional, like no nonsense, no games, like very good at at crimes, you know? So that was so dope. And yeah, did that answer your question?
Yeah. He's one of the dopest out of towners, bro.
Yeah.
I give him a lot of props. Shit. When you first started rocking Mad Phils and shit like that, did anybody you fuck with and shit tell you like, yo, your shit is crisp? Like you knew off the top? Was you feeling it like that? Like niggas, you know, because niggas be feeling your shit like, yo, your shit is fire.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some people told me that, but I always just tried to, as long as I liked it and I was happy with it, which I wasn't always happy with something I did, but I just tried to focus on that, like not to listen to what everyone's saying all the time, like, but also when someone that I looked up to would compliment me, that would hype me up, that would charge me up and make me, you know, make me feel good. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, yeah, it's a great
Who would be your dream, like if you could paint with anybody, just hit a spot with anybody, who would it be?
Oh man, just dead or alive.
Dead or alive, whoever. Tell me who.
Maybe I don't know, Sane.
Wow. Sane. Smith is one of my favorite writers too, bro. That nigga's super legendary. And shit, that's a good pick. Hell yeah. Sane, rest in peace. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
So tell me who's your top 5 favorite street bombers of all time? Destroyers.
Damn. Yo, someone that I would see all through my childhood, and actually I remember, but I don't have a photo, but I'm pretty certain he did have something in where I lived in Connecticut, but taking them north and then come to the Bronx, it was Tyke.
Yeah. I wish I had my spray can to shake, man. Yeah, salute Type TFO, nigga, legend.
It was definitely, yo, cause you're interviewing Just, like those,
Yes, sir.
you know, like that whole style of graffiti in that era and that time, that was a big that meant a lot to me, as you know, coming up, and I love seeing it, and it's the best shit, you know what I mean? Like you can't fuck with it in any way. So yeah, but Tyke had a lot of shit. Also, Just and damn, a lot of people. But yeah, TD, of course, can't forget.
Louis 67, Rule,
Yeah,
all of them niggas, they had shit on smash.
yo, and you too, man. Like I saw your shit too. Like,
yeah, I used to destroy shit once upon a time. You know what I'm saying?
no, but Tyke had everything: blockbusters, highways, in every style. Like, you know, he had wild styles, big block letters, straight letters, like funky shit, dope tags. And then when I was on the train, he also had every window with a scratch tag on the train too, on the Metro North. So he's just like, and I love that name too, because to me, when I was a kid, like Tyke meant like kid, like there was like, you know, it's like, so in my mind, this is a kid doing it, a Tyke, you know what I mean? So I like that.
Yeah, that's funny, but Tyke is one of them niggas, that whole movement and shit. Salute to all of them niggas, yo. Like they said, Tabe, fucking Jew.
Yeah.
The list goes on. The list goes on.
So yeah.
So, who else?
Oh, my top 5. So I gotta say, Sane, man. It's like I know I already mentioned him. Like I would love to, you know, that would be a dream, but not even really, because he's just, even, you know, some people, you know, it's like just their existence is enough. Like just the fact that of what they painted, what they did is like so powerful. Like Sane is, you know, in my top 5. And even though I already mentioned Revs for the hand style, he's also in my top 5. Phase 2. I can't not mention Phase 2, like just for everything, you know?
Damn, I need my can.
Yeah, and for Philly, like in Philly, Care, of course, Care, Kair. He was the king. He is the J of Philly at one time. Was Care.
Care?
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely. And but like for style, like for piecing and concepts, I gotta say Surok. Surok is in my top 5.
Who's that? I don't know who's that.
He was a writer in the 80s, in the mid 80s or early mid 80s. SUROC. And then he came back again in the 90s, and he did some stuff in the 90s too. And I can't forget Praise. Praise is someone I got to hang with a lot, and he taught me a lot, and he gave me a lot of outlines, and my first, you know, styles where I felt really that I was really getting it. I have to credit Praise, you know, and also in my top 5, and a friend of mine, and another great writer from Connecticut that wrote Rem. was me today, and I don't want to forget is gays.
Gays,
Yeah.
I used to like, because we're hushing them.
Yes, yeah. Gays sports group.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, he's
Yes. Old school. They used to be in the magazines too.
yep, yeah, for what he like what he was doing and the styles he was doing, he's in my top 5 for sure.
What about throw ups? Who got the dopest throw ups?
To me,
Yeah, who you think, who's your favorite throw ups?
Jedi 5.
Ooh, that's a first. Jedi 5. He's nice with it.
Yep, yeah, he's got, you know, great throw ups since I met him back in the day. You know, he's a throw up wizard. There's a lot of people. Yeah, SP, Ghost.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm leaving a lot of people out. I mean, but kind of hard, man.
SP's throwy is just so perfect every time. It's just so fluffy and just beautiful.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yes, too. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah. So going through the 90s, yo, it was like hard to be noticed because there was a lot of niggas doing their thing in the 90s. That was like a real, to me, that's the best era from 88 all the way to 2000. That was the best to me and shit. So, did you feel like it was hard to get noticed and shit like that? When did you feel like you was getting noticed?
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard in Philly sometimes, but yeah, no, I think when I was painting there, it was all about finding the right spot. So it was like the spot mattered more than anything really. So it's like so instead of trying to crowd around something where there was already a lot of shit, finding the right spot was kind of the goal. And also finding terms
Out already? It was mapped out already? It was like spots that you've seen and you're like, all right, I gotta come back here, I gotta come back there.
No, it was crowded. It was crowded, but I don't know. I don't really remember feeling that way. Probably it's not like New York, you know what I mean, where it was like serious crowded. Like most crowded on earth.
When you came to New York bombing, did you feel like it was harder to find spots because of the crowdedness?
Not really. Nah, I mean, I wasn't really doing a lot, but you know, I just thought, you know, if I could hit that spot, that's good. If I could fit in there somewhere, that's cool. You know, like get high or go down low or, you know, like whatever. Like, but yeah, try to hit something that doesn't get hit normally, or something that's gonna last, or something where you can make an impact where you don't have to go over anyone, or you're not gonna get buffed, or.
You're in a unique position because you have 3 places that you have bombed, you know, very well. So, which was the most fun place to bomb?
I mean, I have to say Philly because that's when I was like at the height, when I was 16, 17, 18, like that. Like that was the most fun probably I've had ever in my life. So yeah, that was great. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was like a race, and you were just and then you would just see it. It was there, and you see it the next day, and it just kept going, kept growing, and you just keep getting better as you go. Yeah, in Philly, that's when I was really going for it.
So in Philly, there's just like blocks, and I know there's a train and everything. Is that mostly like where people hit, where the train is at, or there's a lot of spots to hit? Like, there's a lot of shit to hit in Philly like that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it depends what you're talking about. Like like, because now Philly is hands, tags, mostly. So like the whole walls would be like on the streets, every wall filled, you know. So
So
when we
tags and fill-in.
but when we wanted to do something nice, like me and Esteem or me and Ronan, we would hit the train lines. The kind of like it would be like LIRR would be like the trains that go out to the neighborhoods outside of the city, like that, you know. We did a lot like that. We did freights. Philly has an elevated, and all on in both directions you have every rooftop would have something on it. So that's where it starts getting crowded. That you couldn't always get up there with shit unless you were really doing shit, and I wasn't really doing the roofs at that time. Like I wasn't from those neighborhoods, and I didn't know. Later, like my last summer spent there, I met a lot of kids from there and started going up on the roofs with them. So that was dope. But like Pika, Hayes, I think I painted with Kid one time, but I think he was just there, and he did another roof next to ours, but I don't remember.
Who had all the roofs smashed?
Oh man, there was a lot of people. So there was the old shit that was up, which was like Care. Had a lot of roofs. And MB was the king of the roofs. Two-letter MB.
MD?
Huh?
MD?
Yeah, MB, like Master Blaster. And that was that was the eastbound, but then when you went westbound, you had like Nemo and Agua and Nope, and then you had old shit that was still up, like Espo and Surok and Mr. Blint. There's a lot of people, man. But
So
in 2000, the Kid and Seth, they were hitting every roof in the year 2000 for sure. Yeah.
Kid like PK and Kid?
Nah, like a Philly kid. Yeah.
Did you ever see Boner up in Philly?
I did. Yep. I did a lot.
Yeah, because I heard I seen him up in Philly before and shit, and I didn't know he was Philly.
He crushed it with those bees, man. Like he'll be like 50 of those bees in a row, and each one would be a different color, like crazy stuff, like right on a major block, like. Yep.
That's fire. What about Karma?
Yep, Karma was doing a lot. Yeah, but so in 2000 I went to school in New York, in the suburbs. I went to a school called SUNY Purchase, which is between New York and Connecticut and near White Plains. And I met a lot of writers there too. Like, I don't know if they, if they want to be mentioned, but there were some writers at my school there too. And so I would go back to Philly breaking on, in the summer. Yeah. And Karma was definitely going all city and killing it with KIW, which is like one of the oldest crews of Philly, Kings in War. And yeah, they're kings, like that. The name says it. Yeah. And she was queen in war. So yeah, she got it in. Yep.
So give me a crazy bombing story. Give me one of your craziest bombing stories.
All right. Damn. A funny crazy story. So I was living in Philly. It was 2008, and we were in North Philly, and there was a school that was empty. It was abandoned, and everyone was going in there. They were smashing every window. Boner did every window. Like, we were going in there. We were doing pieces in there, and one night I went with it was probably like 6 or 7 people. And I knew I was like, that idea, like, this is crazy, I think it was Nate Rock, Dean, Hank, maybe B was with us. Shock, I think, was there. So we were all in there, and we hit the roof that you could see from the street, because we lined up all along the roof. It was dope. So we did it, got it done. Now we got to make our way back through the building, out of back to the street. And this was a huge school. It was a high school. So we were like, it was hard to know where you were going. I don't think we had a flashlight. Like, this was 08, so we just had like the flip phones. If we might not have even had, so I don't even remember, but we were trying to make our way through the building, right? So we were just like, yo, just follow each other so we don't get lost. Like, let's just get out of here, because maybe someone saw us hit the roof. We gotta get the fuck out. So I'm following just a shadow. I don't even know. I'm like, yo, and I start getting worried. I'm like, yo, like, did someone leave? Someone turn? What's going on? And I heard a voice. He was like, I don't know. I was like, yo, who the fuck is that? And then it turned out this guy that was living in the school, he just started walking with us. He just started following us too, like, in line with us, not saying anything. So I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, who are you? He's like, I'm Big Kev. That's what he said.
Big Kev, you was getting followed by Big Kev?
He was walking with us. Yeah. So that bugged me out, and that was kind of fucked up. But he didn't mess with us. He just wanted to, I don't even know, maybe he was crazy. He just was walking with us. It was funny as shit. And then we were like, yo, some people that were in front of the line, they didn't even know that he was there. So I'm like, yo, did you guys see that dude? They're like, nah. And then my other friend, oh yeah, there was this guy, our friend Amen was with us. Amen was with us, and he said, yeah, yo, that was crazy, Big Kev. And we were just laughing about that for like a year. it's still, when we see each other, we still bring that up because it was hilarious.
I wonder if Big Kev remembers that shit. Where you at, Kev? Salute to Big Kev. Yo, what do you think about the niggas smashing shit now? Do you see anybody smashing shit now that you like?
Damn, yeah. The LNE crew, they're killing shit. Yep. Out of Philly, I really like Crown. Crown BTM is dope. Trying to think.
Is BTM from Philly?
No, I think they're from the West Coast.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm bugging. That's right, like San Francisco or some shit like that, or
Yeah.
something like that. San Diego.
Yeah, shout out to Enzo. Reading the comments now. Somebody said he's definitely killing shit. I see that a lot when I go to New York.
Oh, Ansel?
Yeah. Yep.
Hell yeah, Ansel, that nigga's everywhere, literally.
Yep.
Do you still got like, do you have photo albums of just mad shit?
Yeah, man. I decided to look through some albums before this interview just to kind of jog my memory and to just to get into the subject. I have thousands of photos, man, and thank God. And my friend Esteem, he took a lot of photos too, and he always mailed me photos, which I'm really grateful for. No matter where he was, like traveling, going, he was in Atlanta, freight. He would be doing, photographing freights all over. He would just mail me photos, which was real cool. And me and Esteem, like we and Ronan too, we were serious about collecting photos, like any writer should be. Like any real writer takes photos, but sometimes some don't. They don't care. They just do it just to do it, and they'll never take a photo. So shout out to them too. But we were always big into flicks and stuff,
Yeah, that's dope. Nah, the reason I asked is because I'm one of them niggas too. I never took flicks of shit. You know what I'm saying? So in the late '80s and then through the '90s, niggas had disposable cameras. We wasn't even into none of that shit. I was just to bomb, just to get my name up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I there was a time when I was bumping a lot where I felt the same, like it didn't matter, like that, like getting a camera or getting a film or going around, that was a waste of time, or I should be racking paint or looking for spots or something, like I didn't even think it was like, it didn't even cross my mind sometimes. But I know what you're saying too. And then, yeah, no, it wasn't easy to get photos also back in the day.
That's a fact, bro. It's not like now everybody could just catch it on your phone.
Yeah, no.
None.
It changed the game, man.
That's a fact, bro. So, what if you could give advice to any of the young writers coming out now? What would a good piece of advice be for them, from you, in your experience?
Good piece of advice. Just keep working on your craft, and just never stop, like working at it. Like don't feel like settled with something. Like be persistently trying to work at it. If you're gonna keep doing it and you're not, you're gonna live it, you just always work on the craft and get good. Even if you can't paint for whatever reason, just do it on paper or something, and just keep, you know, like, yeah, I don't know, like.
Because legibility is very important, bro. There's a lot of kids out there that they get up a lot, but their shit is just very unlegible.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, and I would say, don't just, like, a lot of times people say practice, like, it's like, you gotta practice on a wall, like, you gotta practice with spray paint, right? So you gotta go and you gotta see how it's gonna look, because it's not the same in a black book or whatever, or on an iPad. Like, you gotta use spray paint. Like, you gotta, so find a spot that's where it's just your spot, like you and your friends, like, where you could just rock out and just, you could just keep going over yourself, like, just getting good like that, you know? And then, yeah, and then get, like, yeah, just like get out there, elements. Like, you gotta know how to work under pressure and in any weather, and you know, any, you
Ooh,
know.
that's a good question right there. When you rocking one of those curves, bro, even when you just write your tag and it's like, and then you draw the ball like it's throwing the ball, that shit is fire, my nigga. But when you rocking like one of the curves, right? Do you feel like under pressure? Cause you know, it's going to take more time. Does it take more time? Do you take your fucking time? Cause it looks like you take your time.
With the curveball?
Nah, just with the straight letters, with the throw, you know, when you know what I'm saying? Like, it looks like it take a long time. Like, do you feel the pressure when you're doing one of them shits, or it's just second nature to you? It just comes out, boom, you just go at your own pace.
Nah, yeah, it depends on the situation, but yeah, not a lot of the styles some of the styles are second nature. Like sometimes I think I could do it with my eyes closed. Like I really feel like that, like, sometimes, but it depends on the spot and the situation and how I'm feeling and what's going on, and like what I'm doing.
What's the illest spot you ever hit? Do you have a favorite spot that you're super proud of? Like, yeah, nigga, I hit that spot.
Damn. Man. There is, yeah, but I'm trying Yeah, no, because I mentioned E-Rock before. When I was going to the city as a kid on a West Side Highway, E-Rock had a ledge right up there. I think it was in Washington Heights. Yeah, on a ledge with SA1. And yo, when I got old enough, I hit the same ledge. I spot jocked it right there. Like, other people hit that ledge too. Like, but I did the same thing, that I grew up the same spot. I grew up seeing it, and yeah, no, luckily I didn't fall off that shit. You know, but
Did you ever get hurt hitting a spot?
I did. Yeah, I got hurt real bad in 2002. There was an abandoned building in Philly, which a lot of people remember. It was called 54ville, and I was with Steam, Savior, and this cat that actually passed away. R.I.P. to him. He was from Atlanta. He wrote Drew, and then this kid from North Philly, Pika. But I don't really remember what happened. I stepped in the wrong spot and I went through. I fell like a little over 40 feet. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it was fucked up.
Damn, did you break anything?
I think I broke everything, man.
crazy as
Yeah, yeah.
fuck, bro.
But yeah, I hit a head injury, so that kept me out for 3 months at least.
Wow.
Yep.
What about racking paint? What about racking paint? You have mad racks where you used to rack paint at in the city, and was in Philly, is it easier to rack paint than New York?
You know, I never really racked in New York. I would just skip the dollar cans, like at the self checkout. By the time I was in New York, that was out, the self checkout. But when I was young, I used to rack a lot. Yeah, push the card out. The shit was easy, man. It was too easy, and then it made you greedy and just like addicted. You know?
Yeah, that's a fact. If the spot was sweet like that, it made you feel like you could do it anytime. You were OD until you would blow it up.
Yo, but another funny story is me and my brother, when we were real young, actually there was a little like a little hardware store in our neighborhood, and there was an old guy in there, like, you know, those little hardware stores, they're so crowded, they're like so full of shit that you can't even find shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it was one of those stores, and it was an old guy in there. He was always just in the back doing shit, mad noisy. He'd be making keys like mad loud on the machine, like cutting the keys. So we were like, yo, this is perfect. And it was right when they came out with the Painter's Touch cans. Yep. Like they had the, yeah. And so we were in there and we were just loading up our backpacks. And we had been doing it for a while, like a couple months. And then one day, yo, this old guy, he came at us, knocked over one of the, like on purpose, knocked over one of his cabinets. One of those metal cabinets, knocked the whole shit over and started screaming at us. And we ran away, but he was screaming. He didn't try to chase us. He said, "Stop stealing bombs. Stop stealing bombs." And he called the spray cans bombs. So then me and my brother said, "Oh, that's why it's called bombing."
Yo, son. So let me, before we get off this and everything, is there anything else you want to say? Is there anything you want to promote? Any merch, any shows, anything that, you know,
Yeah.
let the fans know what it is, Kurt?
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, shout out to TGE, NSF, I Am Okay, BLT. My merch is on my Instagram, link in bio. And shout out to everyone that listens. Shout out to you for doing Graph Champs, man. Shout out to Joe 21, and I have a show coming up in Minneapolis in June coming up. So I'm gonna start promoting that soon, but I'm gonna have a solo show in June in Minneapolis. And thanks to everyone.
Word, shoot me the info so I could post it on Graph Champs and all of that. So people, if they want, they could DM you and like if they want custom merch from you.
Yeah, anything custom, like commissions or whatever. Yeah, just hit me up. Yep. You can email me if you don't want to do DM. It's the curvazoid@gmail.com.
Yo, Curve, bro, we super appreciate you, bro. We appreciate the dedication and the work you put in this game. You made a crazy dope name for yourself, bro. Your shit is top notch, and we salute you, and we salute every step you make in this game, bro. You heard? Thank you for coming on Graph Champs, bro. Mad love and respect for you, my brother.
Thanks so much, man. Love and respect to you and everyone else. Thank you.
Salute, bro. You gotta X yourself out.
All right, man.
Yo, salute, my brother. That was Big Curve, TGE, you heard? We had
Champs, Graph Champs. We back for the 10th time. Big Just W.F, world famous. This is Graph Champs, season 3, episode 6. I'm your host, the vertical, murtical, squirtical, all over your girl's bizac. Yo, salute, CS, yo. Word, salute to all my niggas coming back. Thank you, bro, thank you. We good now? We good? Mic check. Word. My mic sounds right. Check one, check one. Yo, what it is, Joker? Salute my nigga Joke. Better? I'm better, Roach. Good looks, my nigga. Alright. So now, sounds way better now. You good. That's what they saying. Alright.
good. Here we go. Do you hear me, Just?
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. So, like I was saying, bro, thank you for coming on Graph Champs, my nigga. We salute you. I wanted to talk and pick your graffiti brain for a long time already. Mr. World Famous Crew, you heard? There you go. You gotta shake the can for me because I don't got mine today. I don't got mine and shit.
Yo, matter of fact.
Yo, will you hear me?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes.
All right, so cool. I'm gonna shake a can for you.
All right, shake the can for me, yo, my nigga. So we're gonna start from the beginning, just from the look at that shit. Oh my God, what year is that shit right there, son?
1965.
Look at that, Rusto from 1965, nigga. That's real shit right there, nigga.
Yo, Buttercup Yellow.
Buttercup Yellow. Yo, that's fire. Yo, Just, bro, where did you originate from? What area you originate from?
Come on, man. Are you serious, man? This is BX, man. You know, that's where I came from, man.
Nah, you got it. The fans want to know.
True story, man. I feel you on that, man. I'm New York born, of course. Lived in 4 out of the 5 boroughs. Kind of fucking wrecked it out, you know, did the best I could, man. I lived in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan.
Yo, when did you fall in love with graffiti? What made you fall in love with graffiti, bro?
Yo, back in the 80s, basically, like, in 81, 82, I was like kind of, I used to draw a lot, you know what I'm saying? I used to just draw like sharks and shit like that, and, you know, just dumb shit like that. And then the reason why I got the name Just was because I was the youngest out of 7. So it was just me. I was always, my sisters and brothers were all gone, and I was always home alone and shit. I was like everybody else is hanging out and chilling. So that's how I got the name Just and shit. So the first time I saw graffiti ever or paid attention to it was in my brother's room. My brother had a dope room. My brother to be into DJing and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So my brother knew a guy named Bass 2. Bass 2 was down with a crew called TFF, CYA, Too Mad and dumb dudes like that. Just you're talking like you know, early 70s, late 70s. So the dude Bass 2 did a piece in my brother's room, and then that was the first time I actually saw, smelled paint, and witnessed all that going down. And then I started doing letters and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way we took it from there. And that's the way the whole shit started from there.
right from the beginning, when you was doing the started drawing letters, you was drawing just. You was doing just. Yo, that's fire. You got to break that.
Yo, basically, and that's what it is. Like I said, the name Just, because it was just me. You know what I'm saying? Like my brothers and sisters, they were all gone, boyfriends and whatever. So I was always home alone. So I used to just write just me. And then I started doing little letters and shit, and then I just shortened it down to just. And then I took on the name Justin. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, world famous in the
So
house.
when did you?
World famous in the house.
The WF with many runs, baby. When was the first time you fucking like went bombing or started taking it serious? From the beginning, you were taking it serious from when you seen the post, the piece in your brother's room?
When I actually started hitting the streets was in 1984. I was back in those days. I was going junior high school. Then I went to high school in the Bronx called Clinton. But I never went to Clinton. I was supposed to go to Clinton, but I used to hang out in Roosevelt. And that's where I met WF Crew there. And BGM, Bronx Graffiti Masters, was out back then. Big shout out to Bass One and Aster back then. And, you know, it was always those walk around, going from house party to house party, bombing shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, on the fucking house parties and shit, yo, and then we walk down to 116th Street and go get a bag of dust, and then walk all the way back across the 138th Street Bridge, smoke a couple of bags of dust, and we'd be bombing along the way.
Who was you rolling with in the beginning?
In the beginning, there was from the WF Crew. There was Papo 4, Rob 1, Samster, Nail. There was a guy, there was two brothers called Izzy and Bass, ISSE and Bass. They were bombing hard. Pre-Sweet, Time TCK, my boy Nature, of course, my right-hand man from back in the days. I learned all about hip-hop or being out in the street with my boy Nature, man. We first started break dancing and all that shit together, man. So yeah, man, things like that. But you know, growing up in West Farms, West Farms, watching 180th Street train stations, that's when I saw the trains, man. Smiley 149, TED, the Ebony Dukes, back in those days, man.
Trains, do you think bombing trains is better than the streets? What was more fun?
Well, it's depending on the time, man. You know? True story. Like, if you bomb trains now, all you got is pictures. You know what I'm saying? If you bomb trains back then, they ran. But the problem with back then was there were so many riders that your shit wouldn't last, so you had to keep up, and keep up, and keep up. And for whatever I did in the trains, that shit would be gone. You know what I'm saying? I did my first train car with Cope in 1986. Me and Cope, too, used to go to school together in high school. Took me to Dyer Avenue, and we did a Cope 2 full-seat car. And that was it, you know what I'm saying? But that shit got dissed. You know, there was so many writers back then, Cap and all them dudes, they were just going over each other. Your shit wouldn't last, you know what I'm saying?
You think coming up from the Bronx, especially in those times, it was harder to get your shit noticed because there was so many niggas destroying shit?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like, the niggas these days that are bombing trains right now, let me tell you something. They getting up and they doing trains, but they ain't got no competition because they the one taking the risk, right? But let me tell you, back then, if you had dudes like Cap or whatever, people that would go over, niggas, your shit wouldn't last. I don't give a fuck what you did or where you from, you wouldn't last. So it's like I hit the trains, but I was more of a street bomber because I didn't have much of things. I didn't have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I walked to every party. I walked to go get my weed. I walked to go get my dust. I walked to go get my beers. We go racking beers and paint or whatever. So I walked. I was always a street bomber. You know what I'm saying? True story. It was just the fat caps, you know, the little fat caps or the starch spray cans, and that was it.
So when you was young and you started bombing and shit, you paid attention to streets more than anything?
Like, to be honest with you, I never really paid attention to none. I kind of saw it because it was everything that was happening at the time. I never been a dude to chase anybody else's careers. You heard about them, you know what I'm saying? You hear about, like, you know, or you seen like the Sheen 125 cars go by, or the Vulcans, or Vet pieces. You know, big shout out to Vet, that people don't realize. Vet, share, that dude still to this day, still fucking writing hard. But I never been a dude to jock another dude. You know what I'm saying? I saw them and I was like, oh shit, yeah, I heard about them, but like, I never been like, yo, I took pictures of that nigga shit, whatever. I never been like that and shit. You know what I'm saying? I never took pictures of my own shit.
So that eliminates that question. So you don't got no pictures, right?
Which was a dumb thing, because now at the age of 52, I wish I had a lot of pictures of my shit. You know what I'm saying? But there's been pictures that have surfaced over the years and shit like that, that you know, like, yo, that's all, man. We just do it for the fun of it. You feel me? We wasn't, if you thinking back then in the 80s and late and early 90s and late 90s, I wasn't thinking about like, yo, I wish I had that. I was just doing it to do it, yo. And then when people see you, you be like, yo, can you sign my book and shit? You know what I'm saying? Yo, and it make you feel good. Like homeboy was saying before me and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't think, no, you know, like now, like a little static. I did it for the love, son.
Yeah. So coming through, bombing in your career and shit, I seen you up in multiple, you know what I'm saying? Like, you was an all-around rounded bomber, a well-rounded bomber and shit. So throwies, tunnels, streets, whatever it is. What was your favorite? What was your first run? Your first big run with who? What year?
I've been painting since 1984, so like the bottom line is, like, I always been a street bomber. A street bomber has been the best to me. Like, I touched the trains, but that was like in and out. You know, I did a little couple of cars, whatever. But like hitting the streets, walking, driving in cars, doing highways, you know what I'm saying? That was the most excitement for me. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it had the most pressure on me. And then you're standing on a corner. And one thing about me, when me and 9-Volt got together in the late 90s, the one thing that we focused on was hitting spots that nobody else wanted to hit. So if you're in a four-way intersection, we wanted to hit that corner. You feel me? Not on the side block and none of that. We wanted to hit that intersection where everybody passes. And that's how we rode, man. We killed it like this, like so fast, man.
High impact. How did you do it? Just one nigga looking out, like the headlights is basically on you from the traffic.
Yeah. That's exactly how. And I'm going to give you a little lesson on how we did it. First of all, we pulled up and we saw the spot. We left the car running. Right? I had a car. I had my 1986 Oldsmobile. I fucking left that shit running. The car was on. Right? 9-Volt will be standing in the out looking out. I'm doing my throw up. Right? I'm doing my throw up. As soon as I finish doing my throw up, I turn around and I say, I'm towards me. I throw him the can. We switch. Now I'm on the corner. I'm looking out. He's blasting the throw up. We jump in the car. Now we go down from the Bronx to Manhattan to Brooklyn. And then we switch around and we come back up the highways up to FDR. And we go back to the Bronx and shit. And then within the night, we probably do 15, 20 throw-ups.
That's great. That's a sick link up. You and 9-Volt. How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, it was crazy, son. That was actually kind of crazy. I was walking through the train. I forgot where I was going. And at that time, I didn't have a car. I was walking through the train, and I opened the door. When I walked through the train, I smelled white Pentel. Matter of fact, one of these right here. One of these joints right here. I smelled the white Pentel tag on the window. I didn't know it was a Pentel. I just smelled the ink, but I turned around and I said, yo, you did that? He was like, yo, yeah, why? What's up? I was like, yo, because I write too and shit. And I was like, yo, he introduced himself. I introduced myself. And that was history after that.
Yo, that's crazy. 9-Volt is a stand-up, top-notch individual. Salute, my nigga.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you, I was hoping that I didn't know, like, I try to catch up and shit, old ass like me. I was hoping that me and him did the interview with you, but it's all good, whatever. But that's fucking.
Yo, 9-Volt. I could split screen 9-Volt in right now. Where you at, 9-Volt? Yo, but just looking through your history and shit.
He just showed up.
Yo,
he just showed up.
Yo, 9-Volt, when you want to get cut in, I'm going to send you a salute. I mean, invite.
Yo, drink the good shit, bro. Don't be drinking that fucking 125th Street fucking shit, man. Yo, that's all, man. Let me tell you something, man. I respect what you're doing, and I got mad love for what you're doing, bro. I got nothing but love for that, man.
Yo, thank you, man. Because without you, I'm just trying to keep the stories and the legacies and the whole history flowing. Because once we gone, it's left up to a bunch of knuckleheads that don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? They gotta hear it. They gotta be able to go to YouTube, see the reruns, be like, oh shit, listen to what this nigga said. They learn their history, because a lot of fucked up graph is going over legendary shit. Man, I don't like that shit.
Yeah, let me tell you something, man. Remember back in the days when rap was rap, and then they used to say that rap went commercial? That's the same thing that's happening to fucking graffiti. You know what I'm saying? Niggas out here bombing in the day and shit, talking about like they got a license for this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. First of all, a real graffiti writer bombs at night. Whatever lays out the next day is what you see. The less people that know you was the better. That's why nobody ever knew who Lee was until Wild Style came out. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever knew who Lee was. Nobody. Because Lee never publicized himself. But they did it for the movie. You feel me? Michaela, your blanket's in the dryer.
So when the movie came out, that was the first time people saw it. When the movie came out, that's the first time a lot of people seen Lee.
Yeah, no, Lee. Why do you think he went in the name Zorro?
Oh shit, that's right, Zorro in the movie, Zorro. Yep.
Nobody ever knew who Lee was, man. Nobody ever knew. Lee never publicized himself or went to a lot of shit and whatever and shit like that. But I know that from fucking history of my brother used to write before me and so on and so forth. But yo, big shout out to Curve, by the way. He mentioned a lot of shit that I wanted to touch base on. And big shout out to fucking the Springfield and Connecticut chapters. There is a lot of good writers out there. Task and Simon's an old fucking dude from Springfield, really fucking big. And I'm gonna tell you, Repo Tech does too. Of course, my little other fucking partner out here, my man Urko, VO and Scope. I see them fucking getting busy. You know what I'm saying? But you know, big shout out to Brooklyn also. I just want to say that. Brooklyn and I used to live back in the days before I moved down here, but I'll tell you where I live, you know, me and you. Before I moved down here, I used to live in Bushwick. I'm from the J line. There's an old ass crew in Brooklyn called 7DS. I don't know if you know about that. 7DS,
You talk-
7 Deadly.
Talking about YD? Is it YD's crew?
7DS. I used to be down with that crew. I tell you another Brooklyn crew, fuck crew, also that used to get up along the fucking Gowanus. I mean, the Gowanus, the Belt Parkway, whatever. Not the Belt Parkway. Goddamn, the BQE, LI. You know, fuck crew, shit like that, man. You know, I was there, bro. Yo, I got locked up in fucking Brooklyn House before, man.
Brooklyn House. Niggas don't know about Brooklyn House. That shit don't even exist no more.
Yeah, I did Brooklyn House. I did fucking the Tombs. I did Rikers Island. I did Rikers Island Barge. And also over there by the fucking where that train is fucking outside. I forgot the name of the name. Queens.
So whatever you think is better, whatever you think is better, the 80s or 90s.
I think the 90s, just like hip hop, was popping more. You know, wait, let me just reiterate. It's depending on what it is. So, like in the later of the 80s that's got later, like you had the 70s dudes that were doing the nice trains and their little spots and their little fucking, you know, like Clyde and shit, you know, they were rocking and shit. But when train cars were getting whole cars and shit, late 80s and 90s and shit like that, then you started seeing, you know, top to bottoms and, you know, Cap doing I never forget, bro. The first time I saw Cap do a fucking top to bottom throw up, that shit was over the roof of the train. That was in 95. So I was from that area. I'm from the 2 and the 5, so I saw that. You know what I'm saying? I saw that shit when it pulled out, man. I was smoking blunts with fucking Smiley 149 and Lambert Projects, and that shit pulled out, man. That shit still had the windows fucking painted in and everything, bro. That shit was crazy.
You think the Bronx has the best writers?
Nah, I can't say just the Bronx in general. Nah, I can't say just Bronx. Yeah, Brooklyn writers too. Yeah, Queens writers and shit. But as far as style, I think overall that the iconic photos of what you see today in old school writers are from Bronx and Brooklyn.
Wish I had my can.
Hold on.
That's right, baby. I know Brooklyn is in that.
Yo, let me get you a little paper label can instead of paper label. I don't know if you know about paper label. That's before it's metal. Yeah, got a paper label on that shit.
Wow.
Oh, the bull don't even want to move. That's what she said.
Yo, so now you're in the 90s. You're killing shit. The 90s is an era where there's a lot of people out doing their thing, bro. From every borough. To me, it was the funnest times, the best times in graffiti. Did you ever watch like Videograph or was into the graffiti magazines and shit?
Yeah, well, I was in one of the first videographs. What is it, videographs? What the fuck is that Menos did? What the hell Menos did? What was that video that Menos did? Videograph, not video. Videographs was
Fuck graph.
fuck graph.
Talking about fuck graphs.
Yeah, fuck graph. That was the first one. Me and my brother, we was getting busy then in the Bronx. We was laying it down. If you look it up, you find it. Nick One was doing Videograph. That's what I remember. And then fucking he got arrested. He got arrested. Fucking yo, they ran up on his ass. Yo, that shit was funny. Yo, but fucking yeah, man. You know, Graph overall, man. Let me tell you something about some knowledge, real quick, man. Graph overall is our way to fame. You know, it's like basketball people have their way of fame, baseball people have their way of fame, DJs has their way of fame. Graph is our way to fame, man. You know, and I've really been honored to have been a part of this shit. Now going on 39 years. If you don't see me bombing, if you don't see me bombing the New York, it's because I'm somewhere else. It doesn't mean that I'm not bombing. It doesn't mean I'm not piecing. It doesn't mean I'm not involved. I definitely still involved in it. If I could turn this camera around and like show you everything that I got going on, but you know, obviously the background speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? I love graffiti, and I'm gonna die with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's a fact. Did you ever think that it was gonna turn into like what it did? Like, because you said we did it for ourselves and shit, and to be famous in our own way, in our own culture. But not everybody's jacking it. We're like fucking, you know, certain niggas are like superstars. Did you think it was gonna be like that?
Not at all, man. Like I said earlier, man, like it just turned so commercial that, you know, people are fucking out here doing daytime videos and shit, bombing and shit. And then you got some lady yelling at you and shit like that. Yo, dude, that's not an essence of graffiti, dude. True story. You're not here to get a bunch of likes on fucking IG. First of all, you're a criminal, right? And you're displaying yourself as a criminal in the court of law. So motherfuckers out here doing movies and shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, man, you guys are bugging, man. I really don't respect that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'd rather fucking do like some spot and just fucking rock it out if I want to do a time-lapse video real quick or something like that. But I won't go bombing in front of everybody in the daytime, man. That's stupid, bro. You're setting yourself up for failure. And that's why it lasted so long, because a lot of people, careers have come and go in front of me, bro. I seen niggas get up to the max, nigga. Niggas bomb me, damn, they get caught, out of here. You don't ever see niggas no more, bro. True story.
That's a fact, and that's why I say longevity in the game is so important, bro. It's important to stay, you know what I'm saying, killing shit, keep your name relevant. You don't even gotta kill shit. A nigga of your status, you know, you do your thing here and there, your name's still floating around where people still salute that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like, real quick, like I wanted to reiterate on what Curves was saying. There is a bigger culture also out here in Massachusetts and Connecticut and stuff like that, that dudes are getting busy. The only thing is that you can't go bombing from building to building to building or whatever. Out here is nothing but houses and shit like that. But they have underground spots and like fucking trackside spots that are like dope. Like you could just fucking chill there and barbecue type shit and paint trains and freight trains or on the track sides or whatever. It's fucking dope. So big shout out to Connecticut and fucking Massachusetts for having their fucking scenery, you know? I just had to say that real quick before I forget.
So you experienced those scenes yourself then?
Yeah, man. I'm basically living that right now. I've been out of New York City for like about 8 years, you know? One of the situations, that's why you don't see my shit over there no more. I got 1 or 2 things still laid up in Brooklyn right now, but if you don't see me over there, but one of the biggest reasons why I'm not bombing street New York anymore is because I was ratted out by a broad, and the girl basically told him who I was and everything. Like nobody ever knew who I was before. And then the worst is like a bunch of people fucking followed the girl. And you know, she would go to shows and fucking talk shit about me and just as this and just that. I'm like, yo, man. Anyway, long story short, man, let me tell you something. It's all good, man, because I already put in my time, so I don't give a fuck what anybody says, you know? 39 years, baby.
Your name lasted decades, bro. Who's your favorite person to bomb with out of all the runs you had?
Well, my best partner I had was 9 Volt. So there was something about him that we just clicked. He used to stay at my house. I used to pick him up. We made runs. He used to put me on to CNN, fucking Barbito the Barber back in the days while I was driving. You know, we had a trunk full of fucking cans. We just go back out and fucking kill it, man. You know, let me tell you something, man. Yo, me and him did a lot of shit as far as bombing. When it comes to street bombing, me and him did a lot of shit. A lot of shit. And the funny thing is, like I said again, we had a mathematics of the way we was working. And we were so good that he'd be walking towards me, I'd throw a can in the air, he would catch that shit, and then he would do the throw up, and I'd be looking out. That's how good we switched. You feel me? And to find that is very hard, my nigga. And let me tell you, your homeboy was talking about, you talk about homeboy falling off. What was his story? Homeboy fell off 40 feet curve, he said, right? And may I tell a story about that real quick?
Hell yeah.
So one day, me and 9 Volt were in Charleston Street, which is down by Varick in Manhattan. Down below Houston, right? Below Houston, I forgot the name of that. Not Dumbo, or Soho, south of Houston, right? So we're fucking down there. So 9 Volt's in the corner, and I'm in the parking lot, and I'm doing the throw up. I'm filling the shit in, and so he's in the corner looking out. So a yellow taxi pulls up, and the shit was detectives, right? So they fucking get out and snatch the nigga up, search him down, pat him down, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know because I don't see him because I'm around the building. You feel me? So I'm doing the throw up real quick, and then they fucking let him go, and then they come down. So as they're like this, they come see me. I drop the can to act like I was pissing. I was trying to take a piss. So they kept going by really slow, and then when it got all the way down to the light, and 9 Volt and me met up, I was like, yo, those DGs, like, yo, they frisked me, and da-da-da. I was like, yo, again, the car was on. I always leave my car on. So when they turn the corner, I said, yo, run to the car. I said, run to the car real quick because they're going to come back around. I guarantee you. So we jumped in the car, right? So we went to that same light. And we pulled up there and looked in the rear view mirror. Sure enough, the nigga came back around. Nigga got out the back seat of the car, started touching the wall to see if the paint was wet. Man, I floored it. I floored the fucking car, and I fucking ate the red light. I went through that shit, man. Yo, and then I fucking went down 2 blocks where the UPS building is. I made a left, and I went towards the West Side Highway, and I was like, yo, the West Side Highway's out. You feel me? We out of here once we hit the West Side Highway. Yo, how come a fucking can rolled under my brake? Right?
Oh.
My brake as we going towards the West Side Highway, so that West Side Highway wall, we was gonna hit that shit. And I was pressing the brake, and I fucking spin that shit, bro, and spun out right into the West Side Highway, bro. My nigga, yo, we went flying out that shit, bro, out of the side block, just coming out spinning, my nigga. And then we was facing the wrong way. And the West Side Highway, everybody's coming this way. I'll reverse that shit, yo, my nigga. Ask now, bro. You think this is bullshit? I reversed that shit and straightened it out and kept it moving. You feel me? And then to top it off, last story, I'm taking up a lot of your time. But yo, we raced up the West Side Highway, right? Yo, check it out. We raced up the West Side Highway. We was blowing it all the way down. We was doing it. 14th Street, 20th Street, 30th Street. We blowing it. We blowing it, blowing. We got up to fucking 42nd Street. Nigga 9-volt was like, yo, I gotta take a piss. So I pulled over. And how come your man started taking a piss? The paddy wagon pulled up and caught that nigga. And got arrested for pissing on the sideway.
No.
That was crazy, bro. Accident. Yo.
That's a fucked up ending.
Yo, that was crazy, my nigga. That was crazy. After all that shit, we did that fucking Starsky shit. Yo, that was crazy, nigga.
Nigga.
But I'm gonna let look, he's laughing. Look, he's laughing right now. He know. Look, he's laughing. He's watching. Yo, that was crazy. But I'm gonna let you take over.
End up together. Y'all niggas end up together bombing because y'all niggas both got sick style. You know what I'm saying? Like for the lightning bolt, you got your Just Throwy, that shit. So you know, there's a couple of other people that write Just. Did you ever have like a problem with that? Like in New York, there's like a 357 Just. There's another nigga from Brooklyn, Just One, from back in the days and shit.
Yep.
Did you ever like run? Did you ever talk to any of them or have problems? Because I never seen none of y'all niggas rag each other. And that's the only reason I bring it up.
Nah, that's fine, dude. That's Just all the way up to France, man. But the one I went after was the Just 357. And the funny thing was, remember, if you guys remember about Just bombing in the late 90s, he was bombing a lot of white tags in Manhattan, right?
Just with white.
Yeah. That's what he ever did, because he was a Jewish kid. His name was Justin Pulitzer from Manhattan. I was tracking him down, son. You kidding me? Kidding me? So I used to walk up to his tags and then put a capital J and then write WF, and I would switch his tags into mine. Bam. And then I fucking went to fucking 125th Street, Graffiti Hall of Fame. One day I went down there because I heard he had a piece down there. I went down there and met up with fucking RD357 down there, Joey TDS, and I went down there 4 cars deep, and me and 9-volt went down there, and I went over a Just piece right in front of fucking RD. And I took fucking tags with RD on top of that.
Yo, so because did you ever do a blockbuster just in the tunnel with house paint?
No.
So then it was the Just 357 then.
Yeah,
Because on the yeah, it must have been, it was by our the
probably.
nigga had just a blockbuster in the tunnel with house paint.
Right. I mean, that kid started bombing when I wasn't in New York. What happened was I was living in fucking Puerto Rico for a little bit, and then where else? I was in Florida for a little while because I was in and out of trouble and shit. And then so I started talking to homeboy. What was that? Yo, SR, what was that first media platform? That's the graffiti writers.
Vanduawa?
Huh?
The Vanduawa? DTF? The DTF?
No. When the computers really started hitting.
Oh, you talking about Streets of Space things?
Nah, man. MySpace, is it? MySpace.
Oh, MySpace. Oh, yeah, MySpace.
All right, so then, you know what's the bad part? I was like, you know what? I was bombing in other places, but I wasn't doing shit in New York. And then homeboy was like bombing New York, whatever. He came out of nowhere and just started fucking bombing, right? So I fucking talked to him on MySpace and shit. And I was like, yeah, man, I write jobs and this and that, whatever. And then homeboy just started fucking like talking mad shit to me. Like, yo, fuck you. You're not the real Josh, and da. And then there was a Just in Brooklyn too. The Just Ones. He used to write Just Ones all the time, and that's
one.
Yeah, nigga. I did my math, but I fought for mine. You feel me? I fought for mine. You know what I'm saying?
He did that blockbuster in the tunnel, and I was bombing one time the tunnels, and I caught a big giant vertical in the T. And I was, because I didn't realize I was walking backwards, so I saw the T first in the tunnel. I just thought it was just a T because he did like one big fucking letter on each wall. So when I caught it tagging it, then I realized it was a Just, and I always thought that it was your shit, and I was like, thanks, and I ragged this nigga's shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought I caught it tagging your shit, bro.
Yeah, no. Whatever, man. That dude, I burnt him out. He never came back ever since I went over him. I fucking did my thing. I showed back up, and I just fucking did my thing again, and then he disappeared. You know, he was some Jewish kid from fucking Manhattan named Justin Pulitzer. Just 357, but you know, and I got, you know what, and I'm gonna say something out loud, man. I got nothing but mad respect for RD. You know, RD is a fucking iconic bomber. You know, I know, you know, a lot of people interfere me because I know Coke think that, you know, they associate me. Let me tell you something. I know Coke because me and Coke went to high school together. You understand? But I'm not involved in his problems. You feel me? Whatever he occurred, that's on him. And I know him and RD, they had some shit. But I always admired RD. RD has done shit that I sat there and looked at, and I was like, damn, man, why the fuck did I didn't do that? You know what I'm saying? And then one time what caught me with RD was he stood in between two train cars and he reached out to the back wall. He did a RD, and then when the train pulled out, it was on a high level away from the platform back there on 149th Street Grand Concourse, where you change for the 2 and the 4s. And that was like, that dude's a bomber. That dude's a bomber. You know? Yeah, man.
That's a fact, yo. You can't deny that shit, bro.
Yeah, I know.
So what about throwers? Now, Who got the best throw-ups? I gotta pick your graffiti brain. Who got the best throw-ups? Tell me your favorite throw-ups.
There's a
Your top 5 favorite throw-ups.
All right, cool. So there's a person who is not an old school writer who, I don't know this dude, but I've seen it before. And there was a throw-up that called JDM. I don't know if you ever seen that. The J, right? And then there was like a D like this, and then with an M. It was called JDM. I saw them on the fucking highway before. And I was like, he came and left. I don't know who he's associated with. But one day I'll show you. I'm gonna draw it and I'm gonna send you a thing. And that was like one of my favorite throw-ups. As far as throw-ups, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard, man, because I'm like for more the legible shit. You know what I'm saying? You know.
So who you like?
I mean, myself. I'm sorry. Yo, but fucking no.
Okay.
Yo, fucking Per used to do REs, R and an E. Sess. Cope, of course, has a nice throw up, nice and you know, legible. I always go for the legibles. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Tyke, I got another one. Big shout out to Tyke also that your man was talking about before. One of the first persons I did a top to bottom with on a Metro North. It was me and Tyke. My man, like homeboy was saying, walking the Metro North, you see Tyke. That was Tyke's shit. He always did the Metro North. Yeah, that was basically it, man. I mean, like I said, I never been one to follow a lot of people and but that's just certain people that caught my eye. Like a street bomber like Pre-Sweet, you know. Pre-Sweet had the, first of all, the unforgettable name, So Long, right? But when you look at it, who the hell would write Pre-Sweet? Like from TR Nation, the Rascals, yeah, that was my favorite bomber right there. That dude bombed. That dude bombed.
Wow.
G-Man also. G-Man, Front Car King. Yeah, man. Fucking for sure, man.
G-Man that was in Wild Style?
G-Man, I don't know if he was, yeah, they had the front door, they had the G, and then had the heart, you know, he always killed the front door.
Yeah.
Everybody was bombing.
Yeah, with the heart.
He was smart enough to figure it out. Also, Miser TFD, if you look in B Street, when they walking down the street and they pause, when homeboy had the mic and my rap too slick, he was like, one talking paint, the other one funny. It's so full of shit and it ain't even funny. And behind him it said Miser and Pace. That dude Miser from TFD. Black guy, man. I never forget him. He's a cool fucking dude. Yep, that dude right there, man. He was one of the influencers too, man. That always gave me like the all right, straight letter, but a little style to like a little notch edges and shit. You know. But let me tell you, bro, if I could go bombing, I would fucking go bombing, you know? I like painting pieces and stuff because I like producing shit. But if I could run around ragged, man, yo, we go bombing, bro.
That's a fact, bro. I'm itching to do fill-ins, bro. I want to do fill-ins. I haven't done fill-ins in a long time, years.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, man, it just, you know, my career and what I'm working in now, and just doesn't give me the time to, you know, allow me to run around like that, and I can't afford to get arrested and shit like that. A man of my age and shit going to fucking Rikers and be like, yo, what are you in for? Graffiti. Yo, you fucking dumb right now. You looking like a big bambalang right now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite spot that you ever hit? A favorite spot?
Oh man, yeah. There's one spot that always sticks out to me. If you look up the history of the train system from East 180th Street train yard, where a lot of pieces came out of, like from Lee and whatever, and so on and so forth, and Cap and all them. There used to be the first train line that ran through Manhattan, which is called the 3rd Avenue L. That train used to run actually through Manhattan, like through the buildings and everything. It wasn't on the ground. So when they knocked that down, there was a piece of it sticking out like this. See my 4 fingers? There was a piece of it because it was a local track, express track, going southbound, northbound express, and then the local again. There was a piece of it sticking out. So that piece was like an overpass. I climbed that shit with fucking pigeon shit and everything, and fucking pigeon mites and all that shit, bro, and bird nests and all that shit. I climbed that shit, and then I did a fucking J here. I hopped over the wall, the metal thing. I did a U, hopped over the wall again, did an S, hopped over the wall again, and did a T. And that shit was sticking out like this on the Cross Bronx Expressway. You can see it from the highway. That was my best spot ever.
Yes, yes, send me a picture, please. I gotta post that.
Yeah, you're my man. I was itching my ass off fucking after that shit. I was like this. True story, man. All the fucking pictures.
See, coming home from hitting a spot like that and seeing it the next day, or somebody telling you, yo, son, I saw that spot, the feeling is crazy.
I know, right? You know what? You know what's funny? That I got on the highway and I stopped in the highway, man, just to take that picture and shit, because it was so far back. There was nothing. There was a bus station in between, so there was nothing I could stand on and take that picture. But I took the picture. But when you see it, you now that you know the story, you'll understand what I went through. Because if you look at the train, right, like when you go on a bridge, they have those metal barriers in between. So then, without the tracks being there, and there's a cement wall, it gets lower. So it was a cement wall. I painted it in silver and black. So now I'm lower. So to get over that wall, either I had to go around it and risk falling backwards or jump over it. And I was like, yo, I ain't gonna fall backwards. So I jumped over it. So I did the U and I jumped over it. I did the S and I jumped over. Nigga, by the time I got to the end, I was like fucking mad tired, bro. That shit was exhausting, bro. But I did it and then climbed back down the pole and shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit. That was worth the risk. That was worth the risk. See, and that's what a lot of people don't understand today. That people do graffiti, but is it worth the risk? If you're gonna worth the risk, make it happen. Make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of young niggas now in the streets that got crazy. The niggas took it to the next level. Niggas is doing the side of buildings now.
I mean, you know, I give
on a whole level.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, I grew up in a different era. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, I'm not all with this publicity stunts. Your work has to speak for itself the next day. So, like, when me and Ivo went out bombing, and one night we'll do like 15, 20 throws, right? So, all right, cool. So then we went home and we fucking chilled and we fucking laid up. We ate breakfast the next morning. The next morning, you know, people are talking about like, yo, it's like the one time I fucking did a throw up. I pulled up to a bank, my boy, went to go get some money out the ATM. I just did a throw up, outlined that shit because I always had cans in my back of my car. The next day, Jennifer Lopez comes and does a video right in front of the shit. You feel me? So, name was there in every spot. You feel me? It was just there. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew at me at fucking just.com. Nah, son. You feel me? Nah, it didn't work that way. You got to be on the down low. And then I don't know, man. I don't know. Me personally, I can care less, man. Good luck. Like I said, I've seen careers come and go. You know what I'm saying? Niggas a hot boy for a minute. Niggas are gone after that. Big shout out to fucking Spot.
Yeah.
My brothers, you know, they're fucking cool people too, man. I need you to fucking give me a fucking canvas from my back wall. Help me fill this out here.
Definitely. Yeah.
And my man fucking.
Hell yeah.
Look at my man Peppy up there. Oh, whatever the fuck he is. Peppy, Spot, fucking Share. Like, I got a bunch of shit, man. You gotta hook me up with something, bro.
Yeah, I got you. I'm definitely gonna hook you up. That's nice. That's fire. That's your man cave right there. So the old school cans is crazy. The old school markers and everything right there. That's so fucking. Yo, Big Just One, yo, I think he dropped the phone. Nigga just dropped the phone. And they got the sick collection right there. Word, yo, Just. You. Except. Let me see what it is. You. No, I lost him, right? Yo, what's good, Stu? Salute, my nigga. Yo, son, that nigga just dropped his phone, son. That nigga still can't find it. He dropped that shit under the bureau. Damn, son. I wanna cut this episode into 2 pieces. Already in 2 pieces. Fuck. Damn, just. Yeah, it sound like he fell back on the chair, maybe, right? You there, Just? X yourself out, Just, and I'm gonna invite you back in. Some technical difficulties, folks. My bad, technical difficulties. Word, X yourself out, Just. Damn, I don't think he could X himself out, man. Fuck. Oh. Oh no, I could. Oh.
Yo, my bad, bro. My bad. You there? You there? You there?
Yeah, I do you the invite, Just.
You hear me?
Here we go, baby. Yeah. You back. You dropped the phone. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad we got you back, bro. For real. Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Do you hear me?
Yeah. Like you talking and it comes in.
I hear you. Do you hear me? I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I got you. Whenever you talk, it comes in a little bit late, but I got you.
Can't hear me.
You there? You hear me?
X out.
All right, let's X out one more time.
Oh, you got me?
Yeah, you hear me?
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You hear me?
Damn. So I want to know when we good now?
I don't know. You hear me?
Damn. Oh, all right. Yeah. I'm here, Archie. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, what up, brother?
All right, X out. Get X out. X out.
X out. I can hear you though.
You gotta X out and try to come back. I can't X out because if I do, I'm gonna end the interview. I got to share it as soon as I finish. I can hear you, but can you hear me? You can't hear me.
Yeah. You good. Microphone check.
Everybody hears us, but I can't. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. You hear me? All right, let's do this. Do it.
My bad, folks. We're just trying to get it. We're trying to get it right.
Yo, man, you gotta stop hiding out in the basements, man. The cops looking for you, man. You gotta stop hiding out in the basement where you got no connection, son. Yo, your man SR is wanted, son. He can't even get no connection, son.
Yo, we back. You can hear me clearly?
He's on the blacklist. Now it got worse.